And that makes it time for Matthew Pierce. There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning, brother.
From the Downtown Statesville Development Corporation.
Indeed.
I started to say the Greater Statesville Downtown Development Corporation. That was combining both the chamber and you together.
But it is also, we are always concerned about what goes on just outside our primary service area, because we know that the folks live just outside of it, right? Come, shop, live, play downtown, just like Mayor Doug Hendrix. That's part of our conversation today. Thank you for the setup on that.
Mayor Doug Hendrix is in the house.
Good morning.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course, we also have Councilwoman Lisa Pearson here today.
Lisa, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. We love us some Miss Lisa.
Okay.
Stay to task.
Okay, that's it.
We are 25 seconds in. No. So what I wanted to do today, so typically I know that when we're on conversations with Lisa and Doug, it's about being on council items, but they also have special relationships to Downtown Statesville, both to the organization that serves, that manages the Main Street program, Downtown Statesville Development Corporation, which I manage. Mm-hmm. Doug has been a chair on DSDC. Lisa is the council-appointed representative to DSDC. And so they're very familiar with ongoing workings of downtown, but that special relationship is, they each also have some kind of special going on with downtown apart from that. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk a bit about that today, because Doug lives right next to the municipal service district that is officially downtown. So I wanted to talk a bit about that decision, because you didn't always live there. And I want to talk a bit after that with Lisa about the Garfield Green Street National Registry Historic District. Mm-hmm. That's not the official title, but that's like all the pieces, right? Put together. And how that came about, and the work that she did as a community organizer to take that good idea and then get that ball across the finish line.
Very good.
So can I start with Doug?
I wish you would.
Doug, why'd you move downtown?
To give us great pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Those morning pictures are great.
Well, we lived in Baymount when we first moved here from 89 to 2000, and then moved into the Statesville Country Club area in 2000, and lived there from 2000 to 2016. And then both of our kids graduated from college and left. And we decided to move to the lake, so we moved to Troutman for 9 years. But my life never left Statesville. Our house was in Troutman, but the rest of our lives were up here. Church, the chamber. I was on the board of Iredale Memorial. I mean, just all the things. DSDC so I was driving 2 or 3 times a day to and from Troutman because nobody had their meetings stacked up just for Dougie. So, you didn't have the chamber at 9 and DSDC at 10, and, everybody didn't do that. So I would come up for the chamber meeting at 8 and then go back home, and then come back for DSDC at 11, and then go back home, and then come back up for choir practice at 6:30. And so finally, we just got exhaustion from running to and from, and said, this doesn't make sense. And a house that we had looked at when we first moved here in 1989 came on the market. It's right across the street from Costy's house on Mulberry. And it's kind of inside the Mitchell Community College, kind of. And when that house came on the market, Carol went online, looked at the pictures, lots of oohing and awing. Next day we visited. That was like the first part of June last year. And we actually closed on the house 1 year ago this Wednesday on the 15th. And during the time between when we made the offer and closed on it, a lot of my friends who loved me and didn't want anything bad to happen to me convinced me to run for mayor. And so we moved into the house on the 15th, and I filed to run for mayor on the 16th, and it's all history from there. But I can tell you the lifestyle is so crazy amazing downtown. I mean, Carolyn, like we visited our children down east in Farmville this weekend. But when we got back Sunday afternoon, we had a little dinner, and then we walked down to the gondolier for gelato. I mean, and you're walking by, like the other day, Sabores, which is the Colombian restaurant downtown, they were having a big watch party for the Colombian team. That unfortunately they got beat in extra time or in penalty kicks. But to see the energy downtown between, the social district and what I like to call the international district down there across the street from Broad Street Methodist Church, because you have the social district and then you have the Essence on Broad. Maria and her crowd have opened that. That's now kind of a bar area too, or certainly a big social event space. And then you've got Edwin's, hair salon, whatever you want to call, barbershop. It's more than a barbershop, because I saw a lot of my lady friends going in there. But it's just so cool down there. And you have the collective with Tori and her crowd. And, we spend 90% of our, probably more like 95% of our time. I was telling Matthew, I've put like 1,200 miles on my car since we moved downtown, because I never drive anywhere. I mean, every once in a while I go start my car up just to make sure it still starts. But, I walk to council meetings. I walk to the office there at City Hall. And we just love the vibe downtown. We go to, obviously go to Wine Maestro and Delaney's for events, being there close to the Arts Council and all the great things they do. And then at the Statesville Historic Collection with Steve Hill and the Piedmont Folkways programs that are going on there. So we just have so much live music, live entertainment. And then when I host a private block party, which I think they call the Piedmont Healthcare Friday After 5, we can sit on our porch. We can sit on our porch, and it's like our own personal concert. So we invite people to come by and hang out with us and bring their children and let them roll around in the front yard where they have room. And so we have just, it's just been phenomenal. So, my barber's within walking distance. My doctors are within walking distance. I just can't tell you the quality of life that it provides to people that live downtown. And when we get those 126 apartments on Front Street, those people are going to love living in downtown Statesville. And we're going to, now that we have the little, I think they call it Bogadita, which is the little grocery store downtown. That's owned, the same guy owns that runs Sabores, the Colombian restaurant, bodega, and but they have, now we have, you can buy eggs and milk and all that stuff downtown. So you don't, obviously we need it. We'll need more kinds of stuff, and that will follow when you have arguably 200 and something more people living downtown. We're going to need more stuff, and stuff will follow demand. Absolutely. And so and then. Then there'll be another one. We really think that we're poised for just unbelievable growth, not only in downtown Statesville, but the whole city, inside the city limits itself. And that's what our council is really focused on, is trying to not make the city bigger by extending out a whole lot further, but developing what we already have, infill, using the current infrastructure so that we don't have to spend millions of dollars to add, another subdivision 8 miles out. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. So there's this council is very thoughtful about, how we're wanting to grow. We need the growth. We know Statesville's going to grow, and it's time, and hopefully we can continue to do it in a smart way. Thanks to past councils, we're one of the only towns in North Carolina that has water and sewer capacity, and thanks to our past councils, we're teed up and ready to roll. What else?
Good.
What else?
No, that was perfect.
Good golf analogy. I like that. Very good.
So I want to turn to Lisa, unless you've got any follow-up questions.
No,
Ron, do you have any follow-up questions for Doug about downtown living?
I think he's happier since he's been downtown.
I am.
Much happier.
Yeah, because he was a real sourpuss before.
Yeah. Surly Doug Hendrix.
I
People crossing the street to get away from him.
Like Carol, the Ready event.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, they were so excited about this new house in Statesville and moving back to Statesville. I said, I thought you already lived in Statesville.
It was funny.
And healthier.
Yeah. When I heard through the grapevine that you might be running, and I just when you work in a downtown, gossip is just normal, and the distortion of information, right? It's like it's very fast. So you're like, oh, so like Doug moved onto the street across from the mayor. This is probably what people are getting confused about. Later, he was like, yeah, so I'm running for mayor. I'm like, nope, there goes my theory. And so now I want to talk about like a different part of downtown, if I may. So if I'm going to see if I can tee this up, there was the start of an effort in the Garfield Green Street area. So that area east of Center Street, from like Salisbury Road towards Center Street, and then including a bit of Center Street there between Shelton and Center Street, to have have the history of the African American community recognized, right? Like, what is it that this community not only contributed to Statesville at large, but how does it help us tell the American story, right? Like, what was typical of this, and each of it, who were the leaders in this community. So I was still working in the city manager's office when I saw this start getting picked up, and then it was looking like it was stalling out. And then I saw you run onto the field and grab the ball and get it across the finish line quite recently.
A football analogy. I like that. Very good.
And I'm not really normally into sports, but I'll work with this one. So what prompted you to pick up the ball on this and tell us about the outcome? Because you guys just got the big announcement in the past couple months, right?
Right, correct. So when I got on council, it started with the Green Street Cemetery. And I will give Lisa Moser her props here on the radio to say that she started that effort. They went in and did this is one of the oldest African American cemeteries in Statesville. So that's basically where it's centered around. But once we started looking into that, you realize you had this whole community that housed the first African American schools, Billings Academy, Morningside, who African Americans lived in that community, worked in that community, because at that time it was segregated. They had their own grocery stores, they had their own barbershops, their own diners. Everything was centered in that community. Doctors, dentists, everything was in that community. So that part of it that we saw that wasn't being really recognized. And then I realized, I've lived in Statesville my whole life, well, majority of my life. We don't have a Black historical district in Statesville, period. So that's when I kind of talked with Costi, and it was a lot of things going on. And he agreed. He was like, yeah, Lisa, I support you 100%. Let's get a body of people and just see what we can do. So that's when we decided to form the African American Historical Preservation Commission. I hope I said that right, because it's a lot. Sorry if I misspoke. And we just started with the help of some city staff, Marcy Sigmund, shout out to Marcy, and started pounding the pavement and getting some information. Joel Reese as well, helping us, get the historical pieces in place to say, hey, the timelines. We got a grant to actually get the architectural study done for that area. And that was amazing because they come into Statesville and they walk. They were here for 2 weeks and they walked the whole neighborhood and just look at the buildings. And I was amazed at the information that they came up with. So it took a lot of effort, staff, just a lot of patience. It came together. And it was really needed for the community. And I think I wanted to show, the African American community, Statesville has not forgot about you. You do pay your taxes, and we do, we do support you. And I think that's my thing, because I hear a lot of negative a lot of negative things about the city of Statesville. And I'll tell them, hey, city of Statesville's not bad, but if you don't vote, don't come and complain to me. Sorry, don't want to hear it. Sorry, but that's where we're at. And so the commission that's formed, our next step is to go in, because there are other neighborhoods within the city of Statesville that are African American, can be African American recognized as well. And Garfield Green Street was so adjacent to downtown.
Yeah.
Because, we had Depot Hill. For us, Depot Hill, when I was growing up, Depot Hill is where we used to go hang out all the time. We had a store, we had little restaurants and clubs and stuff. So it was all downtown, but it's like, we wanted everything to kind of gel together where people, after a certain time of night, when the lights go off, you don't want to walk down Depot Hill. That's the kind of, negative thing that we want to try to, get away from. So I think me being on the SDC board will kind of help that. Because we've done, Matthew and I, as well as Mr. Childress, we've done walkthroughs. We've talked to a lot of the patrons that are in that area and let them know, hey, this is what we want to do. How can we help you get your building or be a part of this aesthetics to make everything flow to that part of downtown?
Yeah. So one of the benefits of the National Register Historic District, because now we have two national districts. One is the historic commercial one, which is like downtown.
Right.
And then there's this one, which kind of sneaks in onto some South Center Street properties and Shelton Avenue properties, but it's mostly in the area between Salisbury Road and Center Street. But buildings that are on the commercial buildings that are on the registry, either as a contributing building, if you're within a district, or a standalone National Registry building, like Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, AME Zion, yeah.
That's the one that's right there on Center, right?
It used to be Center Street Church. There's a great history there. And there are several churches, very key churches, congregations that are in the historical district that are drivers for that community.
Yeah. Yep. So there are tax incentives available for commercial buildings that are on the registry or in a district and are contributing. Right, same thing. So that's one of the opportunities that this opens up for us with those properties that are there in that peninsula between Shelton Avenue and South Center, as well as Rutledge Bingham and a couple of others. So there's economic benefits, but there's also just part of what we do as DSDC is economic development in the context of historic preservation. Historic preservation is always in part about telling the story of the community. So it's kind of nice to have these, it's almost downtown sort of bookended now, but these two national historic districts. So
I like it. And the other districts that we have are not historic districts. Like you got the Mitchell College district, you got the Academy Hill district. They're not really on the registry, but they're local. Local districts.
Local.
Yeah.
So Mitchell is local. What is it?
There's like four.
Academy Hill is
There's a bunch of stuff down Davie Avenue.
Yeah.
That I don't know what they call it. It's called something. So I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool.
So the chief difference is that with the local districts, they come with the authority of a historic preservation commission. Yeah.
I sit on the Historic Preservation Commission as well. So yes, they are very restricted.
And you're very well preserved.
Ooh, baby, thank you. That's a lot.
The national one.
It's a lot.
The national ones open up opportunity for tax.
Right, and
there's some other stuff.
Grants and other sort of things. Yep, that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to quickly say is, the initial effort, we had so many partners engaged in that. The NAACP, the Iredell County Library. I mean, Joel Reese he knows more than most people have forgotten about the history of Statesville. Between he and Steve Hill, we have people that love this town so much that they just give. And when we originally we thought there might be 250, 300 graves, and when we did the survey, it ended up being like 2,300 bodies, many of whom were born slaves and died as free people. And when you start to see that history come about, it created this amazing groundswell of support and also just people wanting to know and uncovering the pride of all those kids that went to Morningside and Unity high schools and, right before integration. I mean, the pride of those people. And it was funny at your event that Friday before Juneteenth, when we unveiled the marker, there were kids that as soon as they had integration, then Morningside School became DeMatt Thompson, right? Mm-hmm. So there were a bunch of non-African Americans or a few non-African Americans that ended up going to DeMatt High School.
Alan D. Rutherford.
Yeah, sorry. So Alan D. Rutherford. So A.D. Rutherford. So when they changed the name, but when they recognized that, they called all the kids up. So that it showed community because the people that graduated. I think the last graduating class from Morningside was 68 because El Amin was in that class, I believe. So we have this amazing community feel that we've missed, I think, for a while, and to see that begin to get people understanding that we are part of this. And if you go to Steve Hill's collection, you'll see the entire history of Statesville. I mean, it's not. I mean, and he's gathering more and more information because it's it's harder to find preserved African American history than it was the white history. So, but I'm just so proud of this community for making strides like this, and a lot of it's due to people like Lisa Pearson. I mean, Lisa Moser did do a lot of hard work, but Joel and Todd Scott with the NAACP. I mean, it takes this whole community to make stuff like this happen, and I'm just so proud of what we're doing.
Iredell Statesville Schools.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we've got
shout out because they did open the school up for us on the day of my event. That was awesome for us to let us go in and use it and utilize the building. So thank you, Dr. James.
All right. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, brother.
If we want to find out more about Downtown Statesville,
listen, you need to go and see the newly redone Downtown Statesville website. Go check that out.
Oh.
The thing is gorgeous.
Oh.
Really, the big launch is on Wednesday when we have our annual event.
Well, okay. But you can do
you can go see it now because it's already live. There'll be some tweaking that goes on. So anything you don't like, just hold off a couple of days. It's probably going to get fixed.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Gentle Councilwoman. I think that's what they say, isn't it? And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Billy Buck. Always fun to be here.
All right. Thanks, Paramedic Ron.
Thanks, sir.
Have a great day.